Our jargon term for the day is deprivation. I know that seems weird. Here we are at a week of Thanksgiving where everybody is thinking about gluttony, and we're going to talk about deprivation. And this is one of those words that is sometimes very confusing because we've heard the term deprivation before, and I don't know about you, but it brings up horrible images for me. I don't want to be deprived of anything, and I certainly don't want to deprive my son of anything. That sounds terrible, right? So how is this a tool that helps us to get to the good stuff? Because that's what we're always trying to do. Let's take a look at our actual definition. Deprivation, when we're referring to autism treatment, is an establishing operation that results in increasing the reinforcing value of a particular event or stimulus, and thus increases the frequency of behaviors relevant to those events as consequences. For example, a person is more likely to engage in behaviors that have previously resulted in access to those events or stimuli in the past. Okay, let's be honest here. If it didn't have the example, I don't know about you, but I would be lost in the woods going, huh? What? What does this have to do with my life? This is why we take on the jargon of the day. So let's go to our working definition here, deprivation. When a child's access or an individual's access to something is withheld or restricted for a period of time, resulting in that thing seeming even more desirable to them, increasing the chance that the child will engage in behaviors that have previously resulted in access to those things. Okay, so let's talk about this with Thanksgiving. If I started giving you pumpkin pie for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and you love pumpkin pie, it's your favorite thing in the world, but I give it to you breakfast, lunch, and dinner Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and we get to Thursday, and I need for you to sit at a table with a bunch of people that are clanking spoons and making a whole lot of noise, and I say to you, if you'll sit nicely at the table, you can have some pumpkin pie. Now, you know, you've had pumpkin pie, so it's not that big of a deal to you right now, right? You're not really going to feel the need to overcome something that's difficult in order to get the pumpkin pie because you've had the pumpkin pie. However, if you love pumpkin pie, if it's just your most favorite thing in the world, and we sit down to Thanksgiving dinner and you haven't had pumpkin pie for at least a couple of days, and I say to you, aren't you excited? We're going to sit here and we're going to be here with other people and you're going to keep your napkin on your lap and then we're going to have some pumpkin pie. You're going to be excited and you're going to be willing to have the napkin on your lap and deal with all the clanking spoons because you want the pumpkin pie. Now, we're not talking about not feeding children, and we're not talking about teasing them and making things difficult for them and stealing something away from them. We're talking about being clever and placing things within their realm with a mindfulness. So if I know, like I think back to when my son was little, he loved this one Buzz Lightyear doll. He was a see-through Buzz Lightyear, and he spoke and he did all these really cool things, and he loved that doll, and I wanted him to be able to play with that doll. So when he would lay down and take a nap, we would take the Buzz Lightyear doll and we would put it in a cabinet, not in front of him where he could see it and go, look, I'm putting this away and you can't have it now. That would be teasing. Okay, but when he was asleep, we would take the Buzz Lightyear doll and put it out of his sight. And then when it was time to work on something that might be just a little bit difficult for him, we would get the Buzz Lightyear doll down and we'd say, you know, we're going to do this, and then we're going to play with the Buzz Lightyear doll. And he was thrilled to do what he had to do. He would work a little bit harder because he knew he was going to get we made it special. I always think of deprivation as supercharging something. If we eat something again and again and again, it's not so wonderful. If we get access to something again and again and again, it's sort of, you know, it's the thing. So we create a state of deprivation where, again, the important part of this is that it's for a period of time. It's not forever. For those of you whose kids love video games, and if the therapists come to your house and they say, can you make it so that the video games are only accessible after they've done some work? It's hard as a parent. It's really hard to do that. But you will find you get further, you get more done, and you will have a happier child. I know that when you do the math on it, it looks like, my kid's not going to be happy because I take it away from them. But the truth is that what you're going to do is set up a circumstance where they do something and you give it to them and it's like, yay, I got something in really remarkable. And you will be building a person who gets it, that when I do something great, I get something great. And they won't be so into the video games. And you can apply this to absolutely anything. Creating a state of deprivation does not mean torturing the child. It does never means starving them, having them do without food or drink, right? We're just taking something that they love and being conscious about when we give it to them and pairing it with things that they've done where they've been successful. It's a great thing and it builds skills. Deprivation.